todos! Hi everyone, this is Cesare, the founder of Portulingo, and today in this video we're going to see how to get friends with Portuguese and start learning Portuguese with Portuguese people. So here we have 25 expressions, or let's say 25 questions to ask a Portuguese and become closer and friends with them. So the first thing that we have to know is how to say hi in Portuguese. So we say Olá. Olá. Remember that the Portuguese that we're learning is European Portuguese. So if you're looking for Brazilian Portuguese, here is not the right place for you because all of the pronunciations that we're going to have are going to be in European Portuguese. So let's keep on going. Olá. Olá. As you may notice, the A on olá has an acento, or let's say an accent on top of it. So this accent is called acento agudo. Acento agudo. That is not our aim to learn the name of it right now, but when it comes on top of a vowel, on top of A, E, I, O, and U, we have to think that vowel has a lot of energy, so we have to pronounce it as an open sound. So I don't say hola or hola, I say hola. Hola, I am happy, I have energy, so hola. Hola. Hi, hello. Then we're going to ask the person how they are, right? So we have a formal way to ask them and an informal way to ask them. So let's go on with the formal one. Como está? Como está? Como está? How are you, or how are you doing? Como está? Como está? And also here we can notice that this A also has another acento agudo that was the same that we talked in hola. So we have to pronounce it as an open sound. Ah, está. And for us to be more local, here I have a tip for you, or let's say a trick for you, that any word that starts with E and the next letter is S. So what we do is that we don't pronounce the E and we pronounce the S as a sh sound, like we're going to say someone to be quiet, like we do sh, sh. So I'm not going to say está or esta. I'm just not going to read the E. I'm gonna say está, está. As you notice, you can hear the E sound, but I'm not pronouncing it. Está, está. Como está? How are you? But what if we're asking our friends how they are? So we're not going to be really polite to them because we already know them. So it's going to be an informal way. Como estás? Como estás? As you notice, any word in Portuguese that ends with S, we pronounce the S as a sh sound. Estás? Como estás? Como estás? It's fine. So now it's time to ask the person how they are, but in another way. So we can say, is everything fine with you? Is everything going well? So we can say, está tudo bem contigo? Está tudo bem contigo? Está tudo bem contigo? Is everything fine with you? Keep in mind that this is informal because we're saying contigo, with you. That comes from the pronoun tu, which means you. So if I'm going to say, is everything fine with you, with a person that I don't know, I'm not going to use contigo. Instead, I'm going to say, está tudo bem consigo? Está tudo bem consigo? Está tudo bem consigo? And another thing that I can make it sound more Portuguese is not to pronounce the esh on está. So instead of saying está tudo bem consigo or está tudo bem contigo, I can say está tudo bem contigo, está tudo bem consigo, or I can just remove the verb and say tudo bem contigo, tudo bem consigo. So in Portuguese, when we're asking questions, we don't have a lot of limitations. We can change the question and modify it without it being wrong. So this is one of the positive things about the Portuguese language. So we asked our friend or the person that we want to get friends with how they are. So let's get a little bit closer and get to know them better. Like, let's say how they passed their day, right? So we can say, como foi o seu dia? Como foi o seu dia? How was your day? Como foi o seu dia? And keep in mind that this is formal. So if we're talking to our friend, we're not going to say como foi o seu dia. Not that it's wrong, but we're acting too polite. Instead, we can say como foi o teu dia? Como foi o teu dia? How was your day? Then we have, so we asked a person how they are, how they passed their day. Now let's get a little bit more specific. Let's ask them like, what is their favorite hobby, or what do they do in their free time? So I'm going to ask the person that I want to be friends with that what they like to do in their free time. O que gostas de fazer no teu tempo livre? O que gostas de fazer no teu tempo livre? What do you like to do in your free time? No teu tempo livre. No teu tempo livre, since we have teu, which is a possessive pronoun, and it goes back to the pronoun tu, it's a little bit informal. So if we're going to ask the person very formally and politely, we're not going to say no teu tempo livre, we're going to say no seu tempo livre. O que gostas de fazer no seu tempo livre? O que é que gostas de fazer no seu tempo livre? Or we can ask them like, how do they pass their free time? Como é que passas o teu tempo livre? Como é que passas o teu tempo livre? Or we're going to get a little bit formal and we say, como é que passa o seu tempo livre? Como é que passa o seu tempo livre? And then we're going to ask them this question in another way. So I can ask them how they pass their free time, but at the same time, I can easily ask them what are their hobbies, right? So we can say, quais são os teus passatempos? Quais são os teus passatempos? Quais são os teus passatempos? Or we can make it a little bit formal and say, quais são os seus passatempos? Quais são os seus passatempos? What are your hobbies? Or we can just directly ask them like, do you like cinema? Do you like sport? Do you like reading? Do you like movies? So, gostas de cinema? Gostas de cinema? Do you like cinema? Or I can say, gostas de desporto? Gostas de desporto? Do you like sports? Gostas de desporto? Or if they liked cinema, I can get even more specific and I can ask them, what is your favorite movie? Qual é o teu Qual é o teu filme favorito? Qual é o teu filme favorito? Qual é o teu filme favorito? Or I can go more formally. Instead of teu, I can say seu. Qual é o seu filme favorito? Qual é o seu filme favorito? Or I can ask them, what is your favorite sport? Qual é o teu desporto favorito? Qual é o teu desporto favorito? Or I can say more formally, again, replacing teu with seu. Qual é o seu desporto favorito? Qual é o seu desporto favorito? And then I move and I ask them, do you like reading? Do you like to read? Gostas de ler? Gostas de ler? And when they said yes, I can ask them, what is your favorite genre? So I can say, qual é o teu género favorito? Qual é o teu gênero favorito? Qual é o teu gênero favorito? Or instead, I can ask it more formally. So instead of teu, I can say seu. Qual é o seu gênero favorito? Qual é o seu gênero favorito? And then, when they talk about, when they give the answers of each of these questions, we should have a little bit of expression, right? So I can say, it is very interesting, or interesting. Or can you explain a little more about that? So in this case, I would say, é muito interessante. É muito interessante. It is very interesting. Or I can say, interesting. So I can also use the word interesting itself. Interessante. Interessante. Or I can ask them to explain more about it to me. Podes explicar mais sobre isso? Podes explicar mais sobre isso? Podes explicar mais sobre isso? Can you explain more about this or more about that? So I'm asking them to explain more about what they're talking. And then, seems like we are going to get friends, right? So we're going to meet again. But how to ask them? When is the next time we're going to meet? The right thing to do is to invite a Portuguese to a coffee, because Portuguese people love coffee. So I can say, podemos encontrar mais tarde para café? Podemos encontrar mais tarde para café? Can we meet later for a coffee? Podemos encontrar mais tarde para café? And imagine we went with them and we drank some coffee. Now we are in the park. We don't know what to do. We're going to ask them, what do you want to do? Do you want to do something? So, queres fazer algo? Queres fazer algo? Queres fazer algo? Do you like to do something? And then at the end, the meeting ended. So we're going to ask them, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure knowing you. Obrigado pelo seu tempo. Obrigado pelo seu tempo. Thank you for your time. If I am a man, I say obrigado. But in this case, as you see, I'm not a man, so I'm a woman, so I would say obrigada. Obrigada pelo seu tempo. Obrigada pelo seu tempo. Thank you for your time. Foi prazer. Foi prazer. It was a pleasure. Foi prazer. So, I hope that this video helped you in the way to get to know Portuguese people and learn European Portuguese. If you would like to see more videos, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you there again. Ciao, ciao!